your child is a child first. I don't know a child that doesn't need something special.
What is a normal child anyhow, you know? I don't think there's any normal. Every child is unique, every child is individual.
We're all part of communities, and I think children with special health needs are individuals and growing up in their community and being a part of their community. Christopher is Christopher. He's not the wheelchair kid, he's Christopher.
To have a child that's medically fragile with orthopedic and health needs that we can provide and include those children in the system, to me is just really satisfying. And not only that, we're doing an adequate job, but I think I see him as thriving. I see him as doing exceptionally well.
Inclusion is the way to go. I mean, it's not just a requirement, it's just the right thing to do. It benefits the kids with disabilities, it benefits the kids without disabilities, it benefits the staff, it benefits everybody who's involved in the process.
I think inclusion is extremely important now. We see people with disabilities everywhere. Why not teach our youngest citizens to have the sensitivity or the connection that they need to develop and strengthen that? Children are very open to everyone. What a great time to teach something, diversity. Why not? What's the alternative? We're all here. We all have disabilities. We all have needs. We all have circumstances that we cannot control. Why not include everyone in? It saves time and effort for a group of people that can be included in what we do every day.
We went with the role that, you know, peers are powerful, and it didn't take him long. He was up walking, picking up on skills, learning to interact with the other kids. He made beautiful gains in that classroom.
He couldn't communicate his feelings. He will just cry. So now he's able to tell me what he wants, what he feels. So it's really, you know, amazing how this program is helping him.
We started the IP last year, and with that we found out that he's doing great. He's progressing. Before he only know only one color, green, that's it. And right now he know every color. Now he's writing his name. He know how to spell his name and all those things. So I think that program is very helpful for him.
Ha progresado bastante. Le costó un poco de trabajo, pero ahí estamos, dándole.
The children saw Samantha as a peer, as an equal, as someone they could play with and be with. They don't see Samantha as a special needs child. They see Samantha as a child in our classroom.
Some of our teachers have said, if a 3-year-old is willing to try it, I ought to be willing to try it. So that teacher, that teacher's aide, that program needs that support to know that what they're doing, they can become more competent and confident in meeting children's special needs.
The lesson plan as far as Samantha is not really a hard thing in a multi-age room because you have so many different groups. She's never singled out. There's always a child that needs something that Samantha may need, whether it's social, cognitively, or fine motors.
I don't see it as being hard to serve children with disabilities, because the more you individualize for all children, the more it's going to be easier to serve any child who might have an IEP, because you already have in place a system where this child needs this support at this time, this child needs that support at that time. So to me, by individualizing across the program, you make sure you have the support of all children.
What I teach is based on research, which is where do children learn? They learn within the context of their daily life. And we also need to look at what motivates children, what do they want to do, how many opportunities do they have to learn and rehearse and practice a new skill, and compare that to what a therapist would do if they pulled a child out. If you pull them aside and have some scripted thing that you do that's decontextualized, that isn't what the child is motivated to learn and do, isn't based on their interests, it doesn't have any carryover into real life. So it really needs to happen within the context.
I can look around the room and it's not anything different than what you do for your typical developing children. The Play-Doh, the markers. You might have to, if a child's having a problem with the grip, you may have to get something to grip. Tape works. Tape, everyone might want to do it. Oh, guys, you know what we're going to do? We're going to use this. Simple things. It's very easy. It's not stressful. You know, take some of the pressure off yourself. Relax. Enjoy the children.
You may wonder, well, can we do it? How are we going to implement this in the classroom? What should we do? When you make that child be part of the class, not going out your way, but explaining to the kids that yes, some children learn different, and you can help them too. But knowing that you have someone to turn to, I mean, that is beneficial.
One of the things about having our preschool special education staff come into the classroom is that while they may be there to serve one child who has that IEP, the strategies that they're using and modeling, all children benefit. Our teachers pick up different strategies, so the sharing of the resources that they have in terms of being able to add more to the quality programming of the day has really benefited our total program.
Having the opportunity to be with their typical peers, having them as role models, having the adults in the classroom as role models, and having the parents come in and out the way they do and volunteering and giving time has been fabulous. When we're in the classroom and we actually pull our kids, I pull my kids and I pull other kids to do small groups. I mean, it could be just even to just play with trains on a track. Having that opportunity to have that dialogue and have those conversational exchanges, I think, are so important, because it's at their level and it's their comfort zone, and you're there to support the child as they need it. Sometimes they don't need me there, but that's okay. I'm still having fun because I'm still playing, but I'm still providing the guide, and I'm not just there to support that child. If I have a group of 3 or 4 kids, I'm helping all of them.
To instill that confidence in that child, to say, hey, look, you're just as important as the child sitting next to you. You did great. You tried really hard. Is a great motivator for children, regardless of skill or ability. The peers use these with them, and they say, oh, okay, it's not so bad. I can try and I can do it too. And I think that's the whole thing, that I can try. You may not succeed, I don't. So I think it's okay. Teach children it's okay. You know, it's not so bad to not always do 100.
The law and the regulations are very important drivers of what programs do, but really the people and the communities and the needs of parents and families are what are the energy that sustains the interests of the programs. And lessons learned from various programs over years, almost always in partnerships with good early childhood special education or parent organizations, have helped us improve.
For it to be successful, all the people who are important in the life of that child need to be involved, and take a look at the big picture. What is it that's going on with this child? How is the adult relationship affecting this child? How is the environment perhaps affecting this child? And seeing it that we all are important in the success of this child. Every one of us, whether we're inside that classroom, the full 8 to 10 hours of the child is in that classroom, or we're touching that child's life off and on for 5, 10, 15 minutes. It's important that we are very passionate, and then we understand, and then we share. Because the success of this child is based on what we bring together as a team.
When you start working and serving children who might have more significant disabilities, one of the things is for a lot of staff, they might have some fear I can't take care of this kid needs more help than I am able to do. A parent, when they have a child born, they didn't ask, they didn't have the skills, but they have to learn, and so will our teachers. Yes, they might not have all the skills and all the educational background that they need, but we also have the support of our preschool special education staff to make sure that we are offering training on including children with disabilities. We do that through our regular staff development days, and we also do it on a one-on-one. And what we have to remind them is the child is going to come with a full range of support, a team of people who will be able to support his needs, and it's not going to fall on the teacher, it's not necessarily just going to fall on the coordinator of the program.
The teachers have planning meetings where they're planning their lesson plan and they're looking at what worked, what didn't work. We also have what are called service area meetings, where we're meeting as a big team. The teachers from the Head Start program, in addition to Spec Ed, Family Services, and our transportation facilities manager and our health manager. And so we look at the big picture of what's been happening this month, what may be affecting each individual classrooms. Then as the team members, as Family Services, transportation and health steps out of the room, then Spec Ed and education stay and look at, okay, here are the resources that we have that we can implement a little differently in our environment. Here's what we saw happening that, yeah, maybe we might want to tweak. Or here's what I'm hearing from one of my clients' parents. So we try to have different informal and formal meetings.
We talk, we call each other to see how the progress is. And when we have something, they send me a letter with Kevin home. So if I have a question, I ask them the question. Anytime they work on something at school, they send in a copy so we can work with him too on it. That's the way we keep in touch. So we also try our best to sit down with him and see how he's doing, help him.
Hasta donde yo pueda ayudarle. Y mientras yo tenga la ayuda de los maestros, y me apoyen y yo los apoye, como yo se los he dicho aquí, si yo les puedo ayudar en algo, si ustedes pónganme metas a mí también. ¿Sabes qué? Tú tienes que ayudarle, Samantha.
What's really nice about our program is all the members of the team have some established relationship with the parent, and we all take a different role. So the Spec Ed team will work on educating the parent on what's going to happen next. Family Services will talk about maybe what are the parent fears, what are their concerns, what are the things that they're going to need help on in understanding. So there are times where, the parent may have a meeting just with Family Services. There may be a time where they'll have a meeting with myself and the teacher because they really want to hear from an educational perspective. And then there's a time where the parent is with the special education team and they want to spend some time getting to know that team and then finding out the exact steps.
We have a lot of successes. We might start out with a lot of children who have IEPs, and by the end of the year, those children have met their goals and their milestones. You've seen this child might not have been able to sit up, they may not be able to walk, and then you have the child running down the hall when they're 3 years old or 4 years old because of the intervention and the support from our staff.
There's a lot of parallels between kindergarten and preschool. The children with disabilities who come in who have not experienced preschool are really at a disadvantage, in my opinion, because they have so much to learn. They have to learn how to be in school, they have to learn the appropriate behaviors, but they also have the curriculum. You want to give them that opportunity to acquire those skills and that awareness so that they come into kindergarten with that jump start. So if I send all my kids to preschool, I would. It really helps them to be successful as they enter kindergarten and all the way through school.
I go and visit in the public school system, and there's my little person in first and second grade, and they're talking and they're interacting with these children, and I'm like, what? It's like a rainbow when you walk in and see your children doing that. You're like, it did work. I did something. We did something as a team to get this.
the optimal when you look at it and you say, wow, this child really feels valued and really feels a part of the community. When you see the children interacting with one another at recess time, or you see the parent of a student with a disability interacting and exchanging a phone number with a general ed parent for an after-school play date. When we have our PTO events in the evening and we see those students come in, and to see a parent of a student with a disability light up when they look across the room and they see their child engaging and interacting, and you can just see the excitement that they feel and the proud feeling that they feel. Wow, that's my child, and you know, maybe they didn't know that that could happen. And to me, that's where you say, wow, there's your tearing moment of saying, hey, we've done it. This is what it's all about.
I have parents come back and say, you know, Miss O'Leary, you can't believe this. I'm like, I can. I was always hoping this would happen. You know, this is a dream not just for you guys, but we want your child to do all the things that you want them to do too. We don't want our children not to take part in anything that children do.